Hey guys, it's Ozzy from Old Dixie Loaders and Supply, and I'm actually at my house with my friend Chuck, who's helping me out with this. Now, this is a 6-hour fuse that I just picked up, and I changed the trigger on. I put a short stroke trigger from M Carbo, but the point of this video is to actually talk to you about the trigger. As you can see, this gun is empty. There's nothing in there, no magazine, all right? So it's safe. So what I want to show you is there's really nothing magic about how to get a good shot off, how to, basically how to hit your target consistently. And really, there are three things. It's your grip, establishing a good grip on your gun, knowing your trigger, okay, and getting a good sight picture when it's time, bringing your gun up to your eye. So what I want to show you is what I do when I pick up a gun for the first time that I've never shot before. What I really want to know about this gun is the trigger, because that is huge as to the movement in your gun when you're taking a shot. Okay, it could mean the difference between you hitting dead center or you shooting low left or to the right or whatever. So one of the things that I do is I take my hand on the trigger, I look at the pre-travel, okay? How much pre-travel is in that gun before I hit the wall, and what the break is like, right? So pre-travel, wall, and this wall is at 90 degrees, all right? And then break. Now, the next thing I want to know is what that reset is like, okay? That's my reset. I love guns that have a good, firm reset. And if I can feel it, if I can feel that click or hear that click, it really helps me as well, all right? And by doing that, if you see this, every time I do this, it moves the gun every so little, even a little bit. But that little bit at a distance can make a huge difference, okay? Even at short distance. But the bottom line is you really want to not move the gun much. So if I pull the trigger, right, and I take it to the reset and not move my gun, there's less movement in the gun when I get my sight picture in order to pull the trigger back again, okay? So that, to me, is really important. That and the grip, and then your sight picture, okay? So what I'm going to show you is this same thing, the same idea on a double action, single action. I'm actually a SIG guy, so both my guns are SIGs, and I'm going to show you that now with a P229 Legion. And the difference is that now your pre-travel is actually as the hammer comes back, just before you break the trigger. So what you want to do is you want to learn, your grip is always going to be the same, okay? It's always going to be the same. My master grip is always the same. But the difference is, and again, I'm sorry I didn't show that to you first, but it is clear. There is nothing there. All right, it's a completely safe gun. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get used to that, and I'm going to learn that trigger, right? So now, for me, the next one is the reset. What's that reset like in this gun? And it's really pretty short. So, right there, okay? So I know once I hit that reset, it is ready to break. All right, so all I need to do is get a good sight picture. Once I get that reset, I take that sight picture again, and then I break the shot, okay? By doing that, again, I move the gun very little. So how does that work when you're actually getting ready to shoot the gun? Let me show you that, okay? So, Chuck, if you'll just follow me up here, man. All right? So what I'm going to do now is I bring my gun up, right? All right, my finger's going to be off the trigger till I'm here, and I start to bring my gun out. Now I start to take up all that slack in the trigger so that I'm right where I need to be, and then I break the shot, moving that gun as little as possible. Now, I get that reset again, and I pull the trigger again, trying to move the gun as little as possible. And your grip is going to be huge on that, because if you don't have a good solid grip, you're still going to move the gun. All right, so again, I'm bringing the gun up to my eye, getting a good sight picture, let the trigger go forward to that reset, and then snap the shot, okay? Good grip. Reset, break the shot. Now, there's always going to be some movement. You can't eliminate it at all. It all depends on your hands. If you got a really steady hand, then yeah, you'll probably be fine. But if you don't, there is always going to be a little bit of movement. But by at least knowing your trigger and riding your reset and pulling up your pre-travel, your shots should be pretty consistent. All right. Now, with the double action, single action, I'm going to do basically all the same thing. My grip is all going to be the same, right? And the only difference is going to be as I'm bringing my gun up to my eye, I'm going to start to pull that slack out of that trigger till I'm at the wall, and then I'll break the shot. Okay? Now that reset is going to be the same thing, but it's going to be super short. So right there, minimal movement. Okay? So again, ride your reset forward just slightly. Don't let it go all the way off, and then pull the trigger again once you have a good sight picture. And you're going to do the same thing with your trigger as you get to know it. Okay, again, take your finger off the trigger, you're coming up, bringing the gun up to your eye, getting a good sight picture, taking the slack out of the trigger, break the shot. Okay? Got a good sight picture, I'm at the wall, break the shot. Reset. I'm at the wall, break the shot. And I move the gun even less. So that's really what I want to get across to you is know your gun. And if you want to be more consistent in your shot, make sure that your grip is really good. Make sure that your trigger pull is good and that you use all that, you pull up all that slack on that trigger before you break your shot. Make sure you got a good sight picture, then break the shot. Do the same thing with your reset. Before you actually break that trigger again, all right, once you go forward, make sure that you know what your sight picture is, and then reset it, recheck your sight picture, and break the shot. So that's all I got for you. I hope that's helpful for you. There's more than one way to skin a cat. This is how I shoot. This is how I teach. And it's worked out pretty well for me. Okay? Thanks.